So, René, are there any questions meanwhile for the team?
There are indeed, Patrick. Starting with the last one that just came in, what are the differences between left-hand drive and right-hand drive version?
Let me quickly think. It's definitely the steering wheel. It's on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, but then...
So, more than a year after its original beginning of production in the United States of Freedom, which is 3rd February 2020, Chevy's show-off vehicle has finally announced to come to Europe around July or August of 2021. As us dear Europeans already know, there's quite some differences between the OEM model and the one we'll be getting here. For any dear American viewers who stumbled upon this video for some reason, yes, we actually get different specs around here than you guys do. That's mostly because of the tighter regulations in the European Union and in Switzerland, which is just chilling there in the middle, turning the European Union into a fucking donut. But what's actually different? Well, who is better suited to present an American car than a German and a British guy? I don't know, ask Chevy themselves, because that's what they did. The C8 will have a little weaker specs than its American counterpart has. For example, the 0 to 100 time will be about 3.4 seconds, whilst in the US, its 0 to 97 is around 2.9 seconds. But that may sound slower than it does. So let me explain real quick. First of all, the 0 to 60 is not a 0 to 100 kilometers, but it's 0 to 97 kilometers. Second, they don't measure a full stop in the country of freedom. They only start measuring once the car has actually began moving, thereby saving some 0 point something seconds. So there you go. It doesn't sound as bad as it did at first. It's still a bit slow though, but not that much.
One question just came in. What makes the C8 around $40,000 more expensive here in Europe than in the US?
Oh my god, that's my question. I asked that in chat. The big difference as well is the price. Yet again, at first it sounds worse than it actually is. In the US, the base model C8 starts at $60,000. Here in Europe, it starts at €99,000. Now hold on, sit down. No need to book them plane tickets to Austin to get that sweet Stingray for 40 grand cheaper.
Okay, that is another very, very good question, because it's not $40,000 more expensive. It's apple to apple, guys. There is a base car, what is available in the US to a cheaper price, but this is a C51. And this car with the same content is much higher priced in the US. And there are a lot of other things, like you mentioned before. Tax, VAT?
Yeah. Exactly. VAT is never included in the US, and we do include it here, of course. So that's really, we have to compare apples to apples, as you say.
That is very important, because then you're getting more or less to nearly the same price.
Exactly.
And importing a C8 from the US would make you pay taxes twice here in Europe, because you have to pay taxes for the import fees plus taxes for the car. I'll make a separate video out of that someday. Now, something which is really, really bad.
Let's talk about the engine.
C8 will have no V8 in Europe. Nah, I'm just messing with you guys.
Yeah. First of all, there were so many rumors, and I'm really happy to say it's still a V8 engine.
You can't remove the most American thing from an American car. An American car has to have that beautiful V8 engine. Now, the sad thing is that it will be only an automatic car.
Another question about transmission, is there going to be a manual transmission in the future?
No, there's no manual transmission. It's
quick info, the counterparts such as Porsche do come with a manual transmission as well. But it will have a manual shifting mode, meaning if enabled, the car won't change gear automatically anymore, which is a nice feature definitely, but it doesn't replace a manual transmission. The Stingray in Europe will come with Brembo brakes, round flat tires and a Magnaride suspension as stock equipment. The car also has an adjustable suspension in height, so you can easily drive over bumps without wrecking that front bumper. Ceramic brakes are something which will be only available to higher trims such as the Z06 and the ZR1, which are yet to be revealed. You can also completely turn off all electronical assistance, such as traction control, meaning you can still spin that baby around any corner or straight into a wall because you wanted to impress a girl you've just seen at a stoplight and tried to drift like in Initial D, but you saw the car on the other side way too late. Speaking of electronics, the C8 has no limited engine speed. It reaches its top speed at about 295 kilometers an hour, being 160 kilometers over the speed limit, except in Germany, of course. I love you, Autobahn. You can also open or close the roof up until 50 kilometers an hour in the convertible, unless you have the hardtop one, which requires a full stop because the driver and the passenger have to take off the roof, placing it in the rear trunk by themselves. A really geeky but cool feature is the race recording mode. You have a freaking camera recording you and the track, and also the audio, speeds, RPM, and gear you're in. It also automatically records the track you've been on. This of course helps a lot if you want to analyze the driving on the track, or if you're a content creator. So you see, Chevy, I wouldn't mind a C8, you know? Please get the hint. The interior is looking fantastic, which is something we're already used to if you look at a C7. But this one, car in general and the interior, is simply fantastic. In my opinion, thereby being the only one that matters, this is the most beautiful Corvette we've ever seen. I'd even go so far to say that this one goes into the top 3 best looking modern US cars, just being beaten by the Mustang and the Viper. So, it's safe to say we didn't get that much new information. I was expecting to hear the differences between the OEM and the European one with a bit more detail. But you can't change it, and it's safe to say that a lot of European people were excited for the Corvette to finally land here, thereby eliminating the importers who charge up to 150,000 euros for a C8.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you guys. Wish
Thank
you
you,
a
guys.
nice
Have a good
weekend.
evening.
Thanks
Have
for
a good
being here.
evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me as well. Bye bye, you guys. That was beautiful. Maybe next time I can be there directly because I'm the only one who asked this shit. Who knows?